Everybody is so quiet. I get it.
Do,
Oh,
doing last
there.
minute holiday shopping. You got 1 minute.
Yep. So, probably most importantly, does it look like we're going to have enough folks for the meeting
Yes,
to be able to take action?
it does. We do have a quorum.
That's fantastic. So, it is 1 o'clock. So, if there are no objections, we'll go ahead and get started with the meeting. Thank you all for being able to join us on such short notice. Um, um, Philip Kemp, who is works in our public works section and is leading our basically everything that's bike ped falls under Phil's leadership, including installation of wayfinding signs. And I'm going to turn this over to Phil, and he's going to explain the reason that we have requested a specially called meeting and well, let me not say anything else, and I'll just turn it over to Phil.
Thank you, Jeff. So we're here today to just discuss some potential revisions to the Fall Line Trail wayfinding signage. Uh, Now, my slides don't seem to want to go through in presentation mode, so we might have to do it this way. Um, let's see.
Sorry, Joe, should we do a roll call first?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. Let's go ahead and do a roll call. Thank you, Mo.
Yeah, no problem. Town of Ashland, Miss Amos. Charles City County, Miss Adams.
Here.
Chesterfield County, Miss Smith.
Here.
Goochland County, Mr. Goyne. Mr. Longerbeam.
Here.
Hanover County, Chair Vidunas.
Here.
Henrico County, Miss Smidler.
Here. And could we move Gilberto De Leon? He's listed as an attendee over after this.
Yes,
Thank you.
no problem. New Kent County, Miss Inman. Powhatan County, Mr. Webb.
Here.
City of Richmond, Miss Clark.
Good afternoon, here.
GRTC, Mr. Adarkwa.
Present.
CVTA, Mr. Parsons.
Here.
Plan RVA, RRTPO, Mr. Bushing. Mr. Allen. VDRPT, Ms. Dubinsky. Mr. Hudson. VDOT, Mr. Hagan.
Here.
RMTA, Ms. Dean. Virginia Port Authority, Ms. Nelson. All right, we do have a quorum.
And
Excellent.
Mo,
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, continue, Philip.
sorry, Mo. Similarly, Bob Moran with Holiday Signs, I believe, is on as an attendee. If he could be upgraded to a panelist as well, that would be appreciated.
I am, I believe, listed now as a panelist and then
Okay,
present.
thank you, Bob.
Yep.
So just for some background information, if you haven't been up to the center of the universe in Ashland and Hanover, the Fall Line Trail is now open to the public. It's a great facility. I've been out there a handful of times, probably up to 10 times, and every time I'm out there, there are always other people on it. I've been out there in blustery winter conditions, and it's just an amazing facility. So Hanover is really thankful to the CVTA that we have the first section open for the Fall Line Trail. Since we are the first locality to have our section open with the Fall Line Trail, we contracted with Holiday Signs to produce wayfinding signage, and based on the CVTA wayfinding plan that was adopted previously. Um, After contracting with Holiday Signs provided prototypes of the P2 and mile marker signs, which you can see on the screen here. Once we received the prototypes, we just noticed some design flaws. So we went through some revisions. Just one thing it's important to note, there are other types of trail signs in the wayfinding plan that are not included in Hanover. So these revisions are only for the signs that are along the Fall Line Trail within Hanover County. Again, just kind of a deeper dive into the prototype examples. Holiday signs did an excellent job. I mean, these signs look amazing. But they respect exactly as they were supposed to be on the Fall Line Trail wayfinding plan. But it's just we noticed some issues when looking at them. There seem to be a lot of issues with the maps included on the signs. Notably, the sign on the bottom right corner is the mile marker sign, and the sign on the top is what's referred to as the P signs, pedestrian directional signs. So if you see on the right, the placement for the M mile marker signs are placed were supposed to be placed right on the ground, and that map is people would have to bend over to view that map. The maps were also too small. Another issue that was kind of discussed was that while Hanover section's open, the trail could still change slightly in other localities as they get through the process of building their sections. And one last issue noted with the signs was that kind of some of the icons and font overlapped, which made details on the map blurry and hard to pick out. Um, so some recommended changes were made, and we will go through the four types of signs within Hanover to discuss the changes on each of those sign types. The first signs we'll discuss are the pedestrian directional. They're the PT signs in the wayfinding plan. Um, there was a faint wave in the top panel that was removed, and we're going to add a cross street name so people know the cross street when they cross the street at the Fall Line Trail. We suggest removing the maps from the jurisdiction panel, and the CVTA is going to look into purchasing QR code stickers that can be added to the panels, and that QR code will take trail users to a map on a map on their phone. Just for clarification, all the signs are going to be posted on 3x3 by 1/8 of an inch steel, and they are very sturdy.
Philip, yeah, so just on that point, you might, so the original spec called for 1/4 inch steel, which is really heavy duty. It was kind of over designed for this type of application. You can't believe how heavy these signs were when we tried to pick them up. It almost takes two people. So Holiday looked at that, and their professional recommendation is that 1/8 inch steel would be sufficient, more than sufficient, and that there'd probably be a little bit of a cost savings there in material cost.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Just regarding the P2 signs on the left of your screen, you will see the original design from the Fall Line Trail wayfinding plan. And on the right are the revisions we're proposing. So as you can see, we've taken out the blank space on the top panel and put in the street crossing name. For our example here, this would be the street crossing of the Fall Line Trail with Cobb's Lane. The maps are just removed from the sign. And so those are the major changes that we're proposing for the pedestrian directional signage.
Again, I might just add that that little wave, which mimics the wave in the logo, was barely legible in the prototype. It almost just looked like an error because it really did not stand out, even as much as how it stands out in the original mock-up here.
And one thing I'll also add is that we've kind of just really specified where the location of the logos and the font for the jurisdiction should be located on the signs. So the measurements were not included in the original versions, but they are included in our revisions. And this should be the standard across the jurisdictions. Barb, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, the revisions that you're proposing, and better use of space, right? That big blue blank spot at the top wasn't doing much of anything anyway. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
I guess I have to interject because Barb, we were thinking about, well, what do we do with that space if we take away that faint line? And it was actually Phil that came up with the suggestion. Well, why don't we put the cross street name in there? And it was like, voila, that makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Jeff,
Yeah, thanks. I just thought of this. I guess there would be we'd use standard street suffixes, LN, RD, DR, that kind of thing.
Correct.
We'd probably have to list those in the plan.
Yeah, correct. That's what I suggested to Bob.
Okay. Okay.
Patrick?
Yeah, just a question. Looking at the sketch here, it looks like there's 71 and a half inches of vertical clearance. Are these signs going to be in an area like where pedestrians are walking?
So we've actually, thanks for bringing that up. We've actually already been along the trail to mark the locations of where they'll actually go, and they'll be off the edge of the trail. They won't be along the pathway.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Amy? Sorry, Amy, if you're speaking, you're muted.
not showing that you're muted, but we can't hear you.
While we wait for Amy, Sharon, you want to go ahead?
I think Philip and Joe, what you guys have done sounds great. It makes sense logically. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Amy, you want to try again? Okay.
Yeah, Phil, why don't you go ahead and do the M and then we can come back if we need to.
Okay, perfect. So the next sign that's in Hanover is the directional sign, the ID signs. These are just kind of at major markers along the trail. Hanover only has one. It's at the Chickahominy River at our border with Henrico County. So again, we are proposing to remove the map from the jurisdiction panel, and then we're going to increase the font of the jurisdiction just to make it bigger and take up more of the panel. And again, we'll just take a look at them side by side. On the left is the original version, and on the right are the revisions we're proposing. So not much for this, just removing the map and increasing the font size for the jurisdiction.
Sorry, I think I'm on now.
Yep, I got you, Amy.
I apologize about that. Every
No
time
problem.
I update my system, it blocks my my audio. Anyway, so quick question. So on the original signs, we had the map, and I apologize, I was a few minutes getting in. So I guess we're not going to have the map, just kind of as the indicator of where you are on the trail.
Correct. What we're proposing is the CVTA and sports backers are going to look into getting QR code stickers that will be placed on the jurisdiction
Mhm.
panel. And then that QR code will bring you to a map of the Fall Line Trail.
Okay. So I mean, just being a user of the Capitol Trail, having that location is really helpful so that you don't, I mean, how many people are going to just stop, get their QR code when they're biking, I mean, so I just think it's really helpful to have a location map. So people who are not familiar, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a lot of people who aren't, real familiar with the location, to just give them a sense of where they are. So I really think we need to have something that will help.
Sorry. I guess
But
my suggestion would be is that these mile marker signs are placed every half mile. So
mhm,
definitely on the mile marker signs, I don't think we need the frequency of those. These P signs are at every street crossing, but there is the opportunity to keep the maps on the trailhead signs at like major points where you would access the
yeah,
trail.
right.
It's just that Hanover doesn't have any of those trailhead signs in Hanover. Like there's one in Ashland, but that's not within Hanover. And there are at other
Okay.
points along the trail, but Hanover just doesn't have a trailhead.
Well, I think, even along the Capitol Trail, every, I don't know, maybe every few miles there's kind of that map. So I understand having it at the trailhead is obviously that's sure, of course, but I think also along the trail somehow, whether it's on these signs or whether they need to be, you know, placed another way, I do think it's important to have, something that's easy for people who are biking to just go, okay, this is where I am. It's another, this is where I am on the trail. I just think it's really important again. And also just the other comment, thank you for the clarification that the Secretariat Monument is noted on this sign. That is very helpful because it is it is the main thing of the center of the universe. You'll see big red. So thank you.
Yep. So we already talked about the ID signs. The next,
Excuse me,
Philip.
oh,
Hey, Phil,
Bob
can I
next.
can I just interject something
yeah,
regarding the map?
please do, Bob.
Yeah, one thing that you haven't really surfaced is just the functionality of the maps as they were developed. You did touch on the fact that in the original design with the M for the M signs, you literally would have to get down on your hands and knees
Mhm.
to see it. That's number one
Yeah.
issue. The number two issue is that they are just such a small scale that
Mhm.
it's non-functional. And then the
Right.
third thing is the graphic that was developed and included in the guideline package. It it really doesn't show the trail as anything more than just another line.
Line.
So, which
Yeah.
is not a big issue. That can be enhanced.
Mhm.
The bigger issue or the biggest issues are just the location and the scale of the maps
Mhm.
to try to communicate anything.
Right. Yeah, it does look really small
Yeah,
on
you
there.
really
So
need a
I agree that.
sign. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You almost need a standalone sign that says, here's the trail, here's where you're at. And then if you wanted to have any, interpretive notes on it, that might be helpful. But something that is this small and where it's located, it's really not a useful device.
Right.
Bob, thanks for chiming in. That was helpful.
Okay.
So we'll just continue with the mile marker signs, which Bob was just talking about. We propose to reduce the length of the panel to eliminate the map. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. I'm just going to call it the base. We propose to remove
Escutcheon.
escutcheon. Thank you, Bob. We're going to remove the escutcheon and add 6 inches of blue paint to the base of the poles that matches the P and ID signs as well. So here's just the side by side again. On the left is what was proposed originally, and on the right are the revisions. So now you can see with the revisions, it's kind of more of a flag that mimics the pedestrian and ID signs, and the blue paint is at the base of the black pole.
Wasn't the reason, but unintended benefit is that even from a maintenance standpoint, removing that base, shortening the panel is less likely to be hit by mowers or weed whackers and things of that nature, and perhaps even a slight cost savings as well, just in the manufacture of the sign.
Yep. Sharon?
Minor comment, just the blue paint that you referred to, it's still like powder coated or whatever, the same as the rest of the poles. So just as far as maintenance, it'll last just as long, or same type of paint application as the black.
Yes,
Oh.
that's correct.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay.
And it is a paint, not a powder coat.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, the last signs within Hanover, they're called W directional signs. So similarly to the mile marker signs, we're proposing to reduce the panel and removing the escutcheons and adding the blue tape. So very similar to the mile marker signs. On the left again is the original, and on the right is a revision. Pretty straightforward changes for the W signs, as they just match the mile marker signs now. All right. Seeing no hands. Those are the 4 types of signs within Hanover with the recommended changes. The motion we're bringing before the committee is to amend the Fall Line Trail wayfinding plan to incorporate the revisions to the IDM and P2 and W type signs as reflected in the revised drawings as presented. With that, I'll turn it over to Joe or Chet.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. So, at this point, we just kind of open it up to any additional questions or comments about that, about what has been presented. Again, this would become the standard moving forward. And I see Chessa and then Chet.
So the thanks. So the signs that are not included in the Hanover section are, we're just gonna wait till someone gets to those and then tells us how to update that, or gonna apply these to those, or
Chet, if you don't mind, I would highly recommend other localities use holiday signs. Bob has been fantastic to work with. And if we use the same contractor for the signs, there's consistency and he has a background of the knowledge of the project. So those design changes on those other types of signs can be tackled in an efficient manner.
oh, I didn't realize it was tied to the. I was just talking about updating the
Yeah.
spec for the signs that weren't included in the Hanover section.
Yeah, I would just, Chessa, we didn't look at the other signs. We primarily just focused on the signs in Hanover,
Sure.
on Hanover section. So that needs to be done. And then,
Okay, it could be
my
later.
recommendation would be whatever we decide to adopt here, that basically use that as the guidance for any necessary changes. And I don't know that there are changes needed, but maybe probably there are, that they would be consistent with, not exactly, but consistent with what we talked about here and proposing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Chet, did you want to make a comment?
And, well, just kind of to follow up on that, Joe, I mean, we have a work group, like if it's the tax wish, we could reconvene the fall line work group to look at the entire wayfinding plan to see if there were other signs that would be in Richmond or Chesterfield that would be worthwhile to update as well. I mean, schedule that at a later date, obviously, because Hanover needs to get going. But I think we could work it out so that we can take a holistic look at the entire wayfinding plan.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Larry.
So apologize if this has already been discussed, but I'm not familiar with the longer term plan for maintenance and of the signs. And has this been coordinated with the residency if they're going to be the folks that are maintaining the signs?
Right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the residency or the VDOT will not be responsible for any of the signage that's installed as part of this plan. VDOT will have responsibility for what do you call it? Somebody help me out here. Regulatory signs, maybe for lack of a better word. So that type of signage will be VDOT's. This is kind of supplementary. And so that will be on each locality to maintain the signs on their section. Do I have that right? I think I do.
Yeah, I think we had conversations and it was pretty clear that this would be a local
Yeah.
That's what I
maintenance
remember too.
responsibility.
So these aren't VDOT's responsibility, Larry.
Okay, and where they will be placed won't get in the way of VDOT maintaining the trail or any dealing with any of the responsibilities they have in that regard, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And if an adjustment is found to be needed, then it will be on us to make those adjustments.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Sherry.
Yeah, so just getting to that point that we just talked about the signage, is there like a VDOT requirement that signage has like a 3-foot safety zone off the trail where we install the signs off the pavement? Is VDOT, maybe that's a Capital Trail Foundation regulation. Maybe somebody knows anything about that, where the placement of the sign maybe has to be 3 feet off the edge of the bike lane or something.
This is
Sorry,
Liz
Bob.
from VDOT. It probably, and I don't know for 100%, but it probably is in our guidance how far it has to be off.
If I could just comment, it is in the guidelines, and I don't have it right in front of me, but I believe it specifies 2 feet off of the trail. But it is in the
wayfinding.
signage guidelines that were published whenever it was published.
Yeah, because I when I came to Charles City, I didn't know about that, and I learned real quick. I had some a sign installed, so I just want to make sure that the contractor knew about that regulation for them.
And one of the things that we did, Philip and I and one of the other guys went out on the trail to stake out each sign and make sure that the location that was selected for it complied with that requirement. And what you'll find, or what we found as we predicted, was that not all the signs can be on the side of the trail that's indicated in the drawings. Sometimes they have to be on the other side of the trail.
Thanks, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are no other comments, I would ask for a motion and a second so we can take action on this.
This is Sharon Snidler with Henrico. I make a motion to amend the Fall Line Trail wayfinding plan to incorporate the revisions to the ID or 1D M P2 and W type signs as reflected in the revised drawings as presented this afternoon.
I'll second.
Chair will
motion.
second. Oh, Sherry seconds. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that motion. Thank you for the second. Any last comments before I ask Mo to take a roll call vote, please?
Just one from me, Joe.
Okay.
I don't know if my camera's working. Can you all see me? But either
Yes.
way, no, great job on this. It's exciting that you all have gotten to the point where you have to make these changes because you're actually in implementation. So excited to ride the trail and look at the signs. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. Barb.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate Hanover and holiday signs kind of leading the way and working out the bugs. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to second that. Holiday has they've been great. They've kind of gone above and beyond here and helping us work through this. So we're really appreciative of that. Okay, so with that, Mo, would you call the roll, please? Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Charles City County, Miss Adams.
Aye.
Chesterfield County, Miss Smith.
Aye.
Goochland County, Mr. Longerbeam.
Aye.
Hanover County, Mr. Vidunas.
Aye.
Henrico County, Miss Smidler.
Aye.
New Kent County, Miss Inman.
Aye.
Powhatan County, Mr. Webb.
Aye.
City of Richmond, Miss Clark.
Hi.
Motion passes.
Well, again, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for agreeing to meet on such short notice. I'm wishing all of you a wonderful holiday time, however you choose to spend that. And we'll see you next year. We are adjourned.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Aye.
See everybody.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Good job, Phil.
Yeah, appreciate it. So can I give Bob the go ahead? Get rolling?
Yeah, we have the green lighted now at this point.
Okay.
So we have TAC approval. So we ought to look at the other signs just so for our awareness and as to what, and we can probably give some help along those lines.
Okay.
But we got some time. But
Yeah.
I think since we've done this much legwork, we kind of have the knowledge and background. We ought to just take the lead, and that way we can help guide it the way that we think it should be guided.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, I think we did a good job pitching holiday. So if other localities use holiday signs, Bob can kind of handle this.
Well, yeah, they're still going to have to go out and get bids, but
I know.
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. So okay.
All
All right, I'm out for the rest of the afternoon. I think I'm working on Monday and
Okay.
then pretty much done until the following week.
Okay. Cool.
All right, take care. Thanks
All
again,
right.
Phil. Great
Yep.
job.
Bye, Joe.
Okay.